Hello, world. Welcome to our Wealth with Truth podcast. Today is another truly and genuinely exciting interview because we get to interview someone that I've admired and respected for nearly 2 decades now. Not to age ourselves or anything, but the truth is we've known each other since we were in our 20s.
Wow.
So it's really an honor and a pleasure to watch the people you care about evolve over time, but even better than evolving, they truly tailor-made who they are and who they want to become. So before I introduce our guests officially, I want to welcome you guys again to our Wealth with Truth podcast, and I want to introduce my co-host and the co-founder of this media production company, Wealth with Truth. Pass it to my co-host, Mr. Kevin Kabore.
Again, I'm happy to be sitting here with our new guest, Amanda. So I'm really excited about this conversation.
Yeah.
We had to talk a little bit just off camera, so I've picked up some interesting stuff. So I'm just excited to dive deeper and learn about your story and everything.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So to officially and properly introduce Amanda, and I love saying her last name because it's Escarcega. Yeah. So she's the only one that I know with that last name. But the reason I was really driven and passionate to have this conversation with Amanda is because she's, to me and so many other leaders, she's a perfect example that it doesn't matter where you come from in life. As long as you choose intentionally to grow and develop and really manifest the things that you want to do in life, as long as you're willing to do the work, I think she's a perfect example of that. So with no further ado, I want to introduce our guest for today, Miss Amanda Escarcega. Amanda, I would shake your hand, but normally I give you hugs. So I'm just going to give you an air hug so our mics don't bump into each other. But Amanda, thank you for joining us today. I want to have you do your own official introduction real quick to the world.
Sure.
And then we'll jump into some of our exciting questions I have for you.
Perfect. Well, thanks you guys for having me. I truly appreciate it. My name is Amanda Escarcega. I'm a social media business coach and basically just help women to develop their businesses on social media. Typically women who have service-based businesses and just looking to make a difference in the world. So I usually work with women who have some kind of work within the health, fitness, or wellness space. That way, the time and energy that I'm investing in them, I'm magnifying the things that I truly believe in that are making a positive difference in the world. So that's what I do. And with that, there's a lot of personal development, a lot of mindset work, and things like that. So yeah, that's what I do. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, what makes me nerd out about people and their qualities is what makes people do what they do. So before we jump into your why and the things that drive you, let's talk a little bit about your origin story. Okay. Let's talk about your parents. Let's talk about how you grew up. Because the thing that I really love to emphasize on with a lot of entrepreneurs watching this is that people just see the polished product. They just see Amanda who she is now, but they have no idea what you've transpired, what you've faced. So I like to always begin with the origin story. So if you don't mind, please share a little bit about your background and what people don't see when they see this polished.
Yeah. Thank you. I always get a little bit choked up actually when I talk about where I came from because it's easy to start identifying with that sometimes, right? So it's looking at where I've come from as an empowering thing, as I'm so grateful for growing up the way that I did because of who it made me, because of the strength and the resilience that it taught me. Yeah. And so, I was born into a very unstable home, a very unstable environment. My dad was in jail when I was born. My mom was an exotic dancer. And so growing up in a home where my mom wasn't really there a lot, she was dancing all night and she got into drugs and alcohol and into different addictions going down that road. And so my mom wasn't around a lot. Yeah. So that really left me to take care of myself. I felt like I was more of a mother to my mother than she was a mother to me. Yeah. And then my dad had another family, so my dad wasn't really around a lot. But when I was 11 years old, my mom went to prison, and my grandmother was kind of taking me under her wing from time to time when my mom wasn't around or when she was in jail. but my grandmother got cancer, and so she couldn't take care of me anymore. And asked my aunt, who was my dad's sister, to take care of me. And so they flew me from Arizona to San Diego. I was on a flight by myself at 11 years old, came to San Diego, and my aunt basically adopted me from 11 years old. And my dad was killed a year later. So my dad was, I was about 12, 13 years old when my dad his life was taken from him. My mom was still in jail. And so from, basically from around 12 years old or so, I didn't really have parents. And so that affected me a lot. It made me it made me grow up really fast.
Absolutely.
So 17 years old, I was out on my own. Didn't really have the opportunity to think about what I wanted to do for work. College was not really an option for me. And so I started working at SeaWorld, got my first job at SeaWorld when I was 16 years old. And then 17 years old, I worked at Walmart, stocking shelves. 18 years old, I got my foot in the door working at the casino. And then I was full-fledged into a career. I was blackjack dealing by the time I was 21 years old, dealing high limit. And so then I started my career, but didn't really have the opportunity to really think about what I wanted to do with my life. I was more of like in survival mode growing up. How am I gonna take care of myself? How am I gonna pay rent? How am I going to provide for myself? And so didn't really have the guidance or the support from having parents like a lot of kids do, where it's like they feel potentially feel more supported and nurtured and cared for. I was more forced into the world and feeling like I really had to take care of myself. So, but very grateful for my aunt who adopted me and nurtured me in those years that I needed it the most, from 11 to 17 years old.
Absolutely. Wow. Man, I love that. I didn't even know about, this is why I love these conversations, because I get to know some pieces about you that I didn't even know before. So before I jump into my next question, was there something you want to?
So first of all, like, it's my first time hearing that. So for me, it's like, wow, you come from like a very, I understand now more common about like where you come from doesn't define where you go. Because you come from a very difficult background, and I've even hearing you, I'm like, okay, I see how great, how lucky I am from growing like into like a stable family, you know. And yes, like just inspire me again more, and I want to hear more. But like this is just my hat off to you, to seeing what you have become and where you hearing where you come from. It's just amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate
it's amazing.
Absolutely. So one of the things you mentioned earlier that's really important, because for the people listening, I want them to pay attention to not just what she says, but how she says what she says, and then we'll eventually talk about why she says what she said. So one of the things that you mentioned is when you talk about your origin story, that it still chokes you up, and you're intentionally trying to look at it from a way that it's empowering instead of a victim mindset. So my question to you is, at what point was that even a thought? To start looking at your childhood as a possible empowering thing, instead of, my God, life sucks, this happened to me, as many people have done at some point. So I would love to jump into one of those major, because to me, that's a big pillar to who you are.
Honestly, I think it's a choice daily. It's an everyday choice of, am I going to be a victim of the past, or am I going to choose to use those things as a reason use those experiences as a reason to show up as a person that I want to show up for, not only for today for myself, but also for my clients. Where I have a major responsibility for my own life and the direction that I'm going, but also for the women that I coach. And so it's a daily decision, because there's a lot of victim mindsets that are out there, and it's easy. This is why I'm so careful on the things that I consume. Whether it's music, or whether it is things that I'm watching on TV, or it's conversations that I'm a part of, or rooms that I'm a part of, because I can easily, depending on the conversations that are in the room, it's called a trauma bonding, right? So people say, oh, you know, I'm going through or because of where I came from, or because of the things I experienced. It's easy to trauma bond with somebody and say, yeah, me too. But when I'm in rooms with people and I'm filtering my conversations and the things that I'm listening to, then I'm looking at it from more an empowered state. it doesn't matter where I came from. It matters where I'm going. So I have to protect my energy and protect my thoughts and protect the conversations that my ears are listening to, because I can easily start moving in that direction, because it's very easy to be a victim. It's very easy, but it's more challenging to look at those things as empowering moments in my life or experiences in my life. So it's a daily choice, and I have to constantly protect my mindset.
Very true. Very true.
That's powerful. That's powerful. So there's three things that you were saying that just stick with me. So you say it's a choice, and I don't want to blame people that have the victim mindset, because we never know sometimes where they got that mindset from.
Right.
They might have went through like very traumatic experience, like yours or anything like that. But I like the fact that you say it's a choice, and we all, at the end of the day, it's a choice to stay in that victim mindset, but it's also a choice to go out of that victim mindset as well.
Right.
So, what kind of choice you want to do is very important, and the result. Like there is also always a consequence behind those choices, basically, and it's. I just like the fact that you bring that up. Like it's important to make a choice, and the choice is every day, and you have to protect the choice that you are doing by protecting your environment. We talk to what you're consuming as well. It's just like it's interesting. I love that. I love to hear that. And it reminds me of that conversation that we had with the other guest that we had last time.
Yeah.
And it came back to always the mindset.
Yep, absolutely.
Like really, how important is, protecting that mindset it is for you, So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, because I know we could talk to you for hours, I want to jump into another important thing, transitional, that happened in my life, and I'm curious if it happened to you as well. So around the time that we all met in our 20s, we were first introduced to personal development. So for you, what are some of your early memories of deciding that, I can achieve more, or I could do more, and how's that important for some of the viewers listening?
Yeah, I think that confidence is built through micro wins. And so personal development for me was seeing the results from consuming content and then applying it, and then seeing the results from applying that, even if they're small things, small wins, and then accumulating those small wins over time started to build a lot of confidence within me that I'm the creator of my life. But I had to gain the confidence in just small things. Oh, if I talk to 10 people, like we met when we were doing sales. If I talk to 10 people, then maybe one of those people says yes. And so then I saw, okay, it's just a matter of developing myself, developing my communication skills, and it's only a matter of a numbers game, right? So getting 1 out of 10 was like, oh, I can do this. Okay, let me see if I can increase the number now. Maybe if I better myself, if I better my communication skills, if I learn from people who have done this before, if I just start applying small things, I can improve my results. And so over time, I just started building more and more confidence from consuming personal development, because I just saw that it was a matter of me just developing certain skill sets. It's like upgrading in a game. I like that. It's like you're playing a game. Okay, right now I don't have all the tools, but if I keep going and I start accumulating more tools, then I'm going to get better at the game. I'm going to progress. I'm going to go farther. And so I just see personal development as putting more tools in the tool belt and getting better over time, and getting better at the game, which is how I see life.
I love that.
Game of life.
I love that. So talking about the game of life, and then Kevin earlier alluded to the importance of mindset, and then we talked behind the camera, we were talking about identity. So I would love to talk a little bit about the image of Amanda that drives her. Talk to us a little bit about that mindset for Amanda. Before we talk about the identity, what is that internal, give us some examples of things that drive Amanda that the world doesn't see a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, identity for me is like talking myself up. So looking at myself in the mirror and saying, it might sound silly to some people, but like I'll look at myself in the mirror and say, you got this. Like you're a superstar. You're charismatic. You're magnetizing. You're extremely smart. You have a lot to offer the world. You are that girl. You are that woman. When you walk in any room, people want to know you and people want to get to know you. So talking to myself in the room and in the mirror, in the best version of myself, or how I want to see myself and how I want other people to experience me. So because I think it's very easy to default to negative things, right? Yeah. I'm not as young as I used to be, or, there's people who are doing better than me, or maybe I'm not that good, or, maybe I'm not cut out for this. So those negative thoughts, it's like paying attention to the thoughts, because as we know, our thoughts are what dictate how we feel, and how we and how we feel dictates how we do action, or how we take action, and those actions produce results. Yeah. So I know that it's a mindset. I know that it's how I'm talking to myself in the mirror. What am I telling myself on a daily basis? Yeah. And so those are things that I say to myself in the mirror, is just talking myself up. You are that girl, you're that woman, you're magnetizing, you're powerful, you got this. Yeah, you have a lot to offer the world. People need what you have to offer. You deserve to be here. I love that. You've earned the right to be where you're at today. You deserve more. You deserve this and more. Yeah. So those are some of the things I would say.
So identity is not tied to what you hear from, like what people say about you, or like what you've been hearing around, but like what you want to become, and what you speak out, or like what come out of your tongue, basically, the life that come out of you, basically. You have to speak life into you, basically, to build the identity that you want. That's what I'm feeling from you. Like you're really speaking life into who you want to become.
Yes, that, and also the beliefs that I carry. So the beliefs that I carry are part of the identity, right? That's part of the identity upgrades. Is what do I believe that I deserve? Do I believe that I deserve wealth? Do I believe that I deserve abundance? Do I believe that I deserve love? Do I believe that I'm worthy of love, of being loved?
How do you do to believe that you deserve those things? What's a good question. What's the thing that is like, that is making you feel, oh, I believe that I deserve abundance? Because some people they don't even believe, and they don't know how to believe those things. So what's helped you believe those things?
That's a good question. I think that it's looking for proof. Why should I not? Why does someone else deserve to be loved and I don't? So for me, it's looking for proof. Well, I deserve love because I'm a good person, and because I have a lot of love to give. Just looking for reasons, not looking for excuses. And I can apply that to a lot of things, right? But am I looking for reasons to back up the things that I want to believe, or am I looking for excuses not to? Because I can see excuses. I'm not worthy of love because I'm old, or I'm not worthy of love because no one loved me when I was little. But I'm looking for the reasons.
Could I just stop here, like, oh, exactly, I don't deserve to be loved. Like, look where I come from. Like, look at my past.
And at one point, I did believe that. I believed if my own parents didn't, if my mother chose drug addiction over me, she chose drugs over loving her own daughter, why would anyone else love me? Which is a story that I used to tell myself, which I had to rewrite the story. It wasn't that my mother chose drugs over me, it's that the addiction had such a strong hold on her that the addiction is what got a hold of her life. It's not that she didn't love me. So rewriting the story and looking at it in a different way.
How do you rewrite it? Because that's because I love that, because this is exactly that's the perfect answer. But I know that a lot of people, they don't even know how to do those things. Exactly. They don't even know how to rewrite, and they will just stick with that story. I'm not worthy to be loved. I'm not worthy to build wealth. I'm not worthy to possess money, a beautiful family. They think like that, and they ended up just having the life that they think of. So.
For me, I look at other people and I say, they have it, why not me? Why not me?
I agree with that.
Because there's other people who grew up just like me, who have the things that I desire. So why not me?
So if you see someone having something, basically for you it's just a testimony that you can, if he has done it, why I can't? We have the same capability. He's a human being, I'm a human being, like we're born the same way and we will die the same way. So I can, like, if he did it, I can do it.
And I also love studying underdogs. So looking at like Conor McGregor was on the streets, in gangs, alcohol addiction. There's so many stories of people who came from nothing, who they have the best stories because it's motivation, it's inspiration. So looking at people who have made it into the 1% that came from a similar background as me, why not me? They've done it. There's proof that it can be done. So why would it be any different for me?
One of the things that I wanted to bring up is, because I really want our audience, especially being an international audience, to get both perspective. The perspective of immigrants. I know you were born here, but your father was from
Mexican.
Yeah, Mexico. So being able to speak to both audience, immigrants that are here, but also immigrants that are overseas. But one of the things that I know from growing up in West Africa is that personal development and mindset was not a conversation to be had. It's more so cultural norms tend to to take over people's lives unless they grew up in a family that really believed in it, and that's a much smaller percentage. So for the people listening, I would love for you to talk about what is the importance, what is the power behind those affirmations that you're saying in the mirror? Like, just talk about the proof. Like, why is that important? Because you and I know the importance of affirmations, speaking positive things into existence. But for the people that are hesitant or never heard that before, why is that important? What does it do?
Yeah, I think that there's our subconscious runs a lot of the results that we're getting, and so we think that it's our conscious thoughts that are helping us to get the results that we want, but in actuality, it's our subconscious that is really leading the show. And so having those affirmations, saying those affirmations, it's doing something to the subconscious mind. But it's not just affirmations, because I think often you can say those things, but you don't actually believe them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make $1 million. Okay, I don't. If I don't believe that, then it's not gonna do anything. Yeah. So the other part of it, I think it's partnered with saying the affirmation, but also taking time to actually meditate on the feeling of what it feels like in order to have it and to visualize it. I think that's really like the power combo, right? Visualizing it, feeling it, and then affirming it. And doing that consistently over time, because you can't just do it one time and then you just get the thing. It's consistently over time, every single day, after weeks and after months, it starts to reprogram your subconscious. And so I think it's something that it takes time, but most people don't do it long enough to really see the benefits of it, or they're just doing the affirmations and not the other two, so they're not getting the results from it either.
I love that. That's exactly what I wanted to get to, because I know for me and Amanda and a lot of other leaders is that the mindset is great, but it's also the feeling behind what you're saying. It's like if you a silly example is, imagine you're in a romantic relationship and you tell your partner all the time, I love you, but they don't feel it. They don't believe it because the emotion and the conviction behind it is not true. So it's the same thing behind affirmations. And this was a really changing point for me in my life. One of the coaches that I've had over the years, he's out of Canada. And that's the thing that he was very adamant about when he was coaching with me, was that, Mo, you have to believe the feeling behind it. The feeling is also the quickest way for you to change your state, because a lot of the leaders, people like Tony Robbins and other things, they say one of the quickest ways to change how you feel about something is to change your state. And the way you're doing the affirmation is not just lip service. It's a conviction and the emotion behind it. And you're spending other times, like you said, meditating on other things to really bring the combination together. So that's exactly what I wanted to talk about for anyone hearing this notion for the first time, that it's not just about the words, but for all the other areas of your life where you want to manifest things, the feeling and the alignment and the actions have to really align.
And I think the fastest way, coming from speaking about like different frequencies, like the lowest frequencies are like anger, shame, guilt, resentment. And the higher frequencies are like joy, love, compassion, all those things, right? But the easiest way to jump from some of the lower frequencies of fear, anxiety, and shame is to start the day with gratefulness. So starting the day with what are 3 things that I'm grateful for this morning, and actually feeling gratitude. And for me, it's something usually as simple as like, I'm so grateful for this coffee right now. I'm so grateful for my dog that I get to wake up to every single day. I'm so grateful for the warmth inside of my apartment, or this very comfortable bed that I just got to wake up in, right? Things like that. It's such an easy way to increase frequency first thing in the morning is by being grateful for something. And it's free, it doesn't take any time. And it completely sets the trajectory for the day into a positive spin. And so that's something that I like to do and practice every day too.
I love it. I love it. This is why we're friends, because even our other dear friend that we interviewed recently was Wasim, and he was talking about the power of gratitude.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, even from a spiritual standpoint. Kevin and I have talked about this many times. There's so many scriptures that even talk about the power of gratitude. Yeah. So I love the fact that you created a visual scale of like human emotions, love, and gratitude being at the top, and shame and sadness and anger being at the bottom. And the quickest way to change that is gratitude. You know, I love that, because if for most of us, if we were more intentional and recognize the things that we do have every single day, some people are not even healthy enough to have a cup of coffee. But we don't think about that. Some people wish they could start their morning with their pet, but because of different challenges or health challenges, they can't be with their dog. They can't have a cup of coffee. You know, so I could talk about gratitude all day, but
but it's so interesting because when she was speaking about like how she empowers herself through affirmation, and she spoke that it's all about belief, and that's the word that I was looking for, because for me, like we know that the word they have energy. You know, what you speak come to pass. Especially your word when it comes with like a feeling, emotion. And your emotion comes from what you believe in. Because you believe in something, you will feel strongly. Because I love someone, I will be apt to do certain stuff because I love the person. And for me, as we say, like we talk about, like, you know, and you come back to like spirituality. You know how important faith is in what you do. Because if you speak without faith, like it's like dead. There's nothing inside that. But if you speak with faith, it's like you're really giving like a platform to your word to really like work on your life. And for me, it's very important. Like even me, I do affirmation, but I don't know what like for me, like faith for me is really like I told you, like I read the Bible a lot, and it comes from really like knowing, you know, what God said, what God say, and you know who He said that I am. And I'm trying to use those words because as I was asking you, like, where do you get that inspiration from? I know everybody has their own inspiration, and for me, it's like when I read the Bible and I see that God said that I'm love, you know, so you know I prefer taking that like word and say, okay, God says love me, even if I haven't like, you know, I went through like really, I'll say I don't know, like hard stuff, my parents didn't love me, and I come to that, I can take that as like a proof that okay, there is someone that loves me, so I can believe in that word, and I can proclaim that word in my life. I can speak about that and like really shape that word so it can shape my life basically. And so I love that, the fact that you brought that it's all about the belief, and I feel like everybody can have, and you say that like for you it's like when you see someone as well,
it's an inspiration.
It's an inspiration, and for me, it's just a reminder that you need to surround yourself with people that can inspire you to go where you are. Because if you surround yourself with people that are closed-minded and that they are not where you can go, you will be limited. So it's very important to surround yourself with like that are maybe far ahead of you, so you can see where you can go. So that okay, when you come back home, you're like, okay, if it's there, then I can be there as well. Then you can like you having faith by surrounding with people of, you know, that have great energy and like, you know, that can inspire you as well basically. So definitely.
There's something that I was talking to about some of my clients earlier today, and it was talking about the flywheel of Amazon. I'm not sure if you've seen the flywheel of Amazon, but their business starts off by having cheap products. And from those cheap products, they have a high demand for people wanting to sell their products on their platform. And then it drives more and more business to more and more desire for people to want to sell their products on Amazon, which essentially creates more income for them, right? So this is a big flywheel. And so I was talking to some of my clients earlier today about creating our own flywheel. And so this ties into like how we start off the day, and then how we start off the day is going to create a whole flywheel for the day. So for example, for me, if I start off the day without doing my affirmations or my gratitude or going to the gym or eating a good meal, that will throw off the entire day. And so it creates like a downward spiral. You hit the snooze one too many times, you wake up with negative thoughts, the whole day is going to be crap. And so knowing the things that are going to start us off in a positive flywheel would be like getting up, going to the gym, journaling, doing some kind of affirmations. Then from there, it's showing up on social media, making great content on social media, feeling empowered, adding great value, adding great content on social media. Then from there, signing clients. From signing clients, getting them results, sharing those results on social media. I feel more empowered. I feel more joyful. I feel good about myself. I'm increasing prices because people are getting results from those. And then the whole process starts over again. So knowing what the thing is that creates either a positive trajectory for the day and for the business, and what the things are that are creating a downward or negative spiral, knowing what those things are and identifying them so that we can either do them or not do them, avoid them, is really powerful. So.
And I think we're talking about the positive power of the flywheel. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, like knowing the flywheel for ourselves and for business. So, yeah.
I think for people listening to this, especially if it's their first time hearing this notion, how many people out there have been on the negative flywheel for weeks, for months, for years?
Yeah.
And they wonder how they got there.
Yeah.
And for many of us, we haven't spent enough time digging back to figure out when this flywheel pattern even began years ago.
Yep, exactly.
Because it doesn't happen overnight.
Yep.
These consistent, healthy or unhealthy behaviors usually start at some point.
Yeah.
So for us, it's really important at some point to feel empowered, to be able to consciously make that decision to create a new trajectory and do that consistently and eventually get what we want out of life.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to your point, there's people who have been on a negative flywheel for their entire life. But, we can change that. I see it as a daily thing at this point, right? Like my flywheel starting off daily, but when I was 34, I'm 41 now, but when I was 34, I was in a negative spiral for a few years. And the way that I put a stop to that flywheel was by hiring a mentor. That mentor kept me accountable every single day to think a certain way, to build certain habits, to start doing certain things daily, which started creating an upward spiral. And so sometimes it can just be one thing that comes in and completely puts an end to, if someone is willing to change habits and things like that. If they're willing to put an end to certain habits or thinking a certain way or want accountability, then in a single moment, a flywheel can completely change for the positive. So
let me package this up in a nice way before we wrap up, which is that there's so many ways to get inspiration. It could be the underdog stories where you find inspiration. In my case, I saw the movie The Secret when I was 18 years old. That was one of the first things that happened to me. Being surrounded by entrepreneurs. In Kevin's case, we're talking about reading the Bible consistently and using that content consciously as inspiration. So for people watching, the true story here is, if you want to change, you'll find a reason. You'll find solutions, you'll find tools and resources, especially in a country like the United States, or if you're watching this overseas, now because of all the online tools, virtually speaking, there's no excuses. There's content everywhere that could inspire you. So going from inspiration to seeing that it's possible for other people, and then eventually believing that it's possible for you, and then creating healthy daily flywheels to really change the trajectory of your life on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and a monthly basis. But I also love the fact that you talked about coach, having a mentor, because the truth is, for everyone listening, no high achiever in this world, whether it's a professional athlete or a business person, that don't have mentors. Period. If you want to grow, if you want to evolve, you need people you trust that can let you know what your blinders are, what your areas of opportunities are,
100%.
because no high achiever does it by themselves, at least not sustainably. You can do it, you can have some quick wins, but to create sustainable success, you need mentors. And then you went from having mentors and now you're mentoring people to have their own trajectory. So as we wrap up here for the next few minutes, talk a little bit about what you enjoy the most now as you pay it forward to your clients. What's the thing that gives you satisfaction as you work with people?
Well, first I want to mention that I still have a mentor.
I love it.
So I've had mentors now for the past 7 years consistently, and I think that great mentors have mentors.
Agreed.
And so I'm constantly working on myself.
Yeah.
I don't think that we ever reach the mountaintop.
Agreed.
I don't think we ever end in personal development. We never make it.
Yeah, arrive.
We never arrive.
Yeah.
That it's constant growth as long as we want to keep growing. There's always something for me to learn. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. And so I'm constantly investing in myself.
Yeah.
And I see that as an obligation to my clients that I mentor, because if I didn't have a mentor, then I would be preaching something that I'm not doing.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's right. I don't think it's right for me to tell them that they should have a mentor, but I don't have one myself.
Yeah.
And I also think it's a disservice to them if I'm not constantly growing and pouring into myself.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think that mentoring other women now, it makes me feel like the things that I've been through, the things that I've learned, I have more of a purpose.
Yes.
Because the things that I've overcome, the challenges that I've overcome, the things that I've learned, passing it on to other people, passing on those lessons. I think as human beings, that's what we're here to do. We're here to make an impact, make a difference, pass on the wisdom that we've accumulated throughout the years. Otherwise it's wasted. It's like, okay, I've made these changes for myself, or I've overcome these things for myself, but I'm gonna one day I'm gonna one day not be here. I'm gonna pass it away one day. So who am I leaving this wisdom with? How am I passing it on to someone else?
I love that.
And for me, I think this is what true wealth is. It's like, because wealth is not just about the material, because the name of the podcast is Wealth of Truth, but when you hear that, you will hear about just the material stuff. But for me, it's like having an impact. Did you left an impact on her first? Very important. And as you said, also being a constant learner, being someone that that you are being mentored and you're mentoring. And for me, it's like it hits me in the spot, because being someone that also coached people, and as you say, like, it's very important even for a coach to have a coach, to have someone that they can go to just keep improving. Because if you're not improving, you will even see that your business, like your coaching business, will fall apart, because you're not improving as you're making other people grow. You're not like growing yourself. It's not gonna go anywhere. You still need to improve yourself every day, and all those things. And so for me, it's just also a reminder that, okay, I still need to keep improving and not rely on my, on everything that I have, but really like try to achieve more and seek for more as well. So for me, it's just also learning, like seeing you, because for me, I see you as like, you have more experience than me. So, for me, I'm always learning from everyone, even for someone that is like younger than me. It's very important. So
I love that.
I love to hear that, and also the fact that you say something that is very important. If you cannot change yourself, you need to get someone that will help you. And I think a lot of people, they're in a spiral where they're trying to change, and it's hard for them, and they're always getting back on their old habits or their old stuff that's sticking them down. And I think the answer is really having someone that can be, where you can be accountable to, and that can always pick you up every time you have to go down.
And also, having someone that believed in me before I believed in myself. Until I believed in myself, I had someone there every day. I believe in you. You can do it. You're amazing. You're smart. You got this. Seeing the potential inside of me and reflecting that back to me every day until I started to gain that belief in myself. I think that's really important. And now with the rise of AI, a lot of people are going online to learn. You can learn anything online now, really. We're using ChatGPT now for a lot of things, even conversations, talking back and forth with AI. But I think that there's one thing that we can't replace with AI, and that's human connection, having someone who truly knows you, who is really pouring into you. There's something special about human connection, number one. Yeah, I think that finding a coach, I think it's important to find a coach that you can relate to. I think it's important to have that special connection with a coach. Like, there's so many coaches that are in the online space now. There's hundreds, thousands, almost millions of coaches. Something that I looked for, though, is have they actually gotten results themselves So depending on what they're a coach about, I want to know what have they actually accomplished. For me, like what sets me apart from other coaches is I started 2 businesses on social media just for fun. I was just doing it for myself. Back in 2020, I started a podcast, I started a YouTube channel. That YouTube channel ended up getting 75,000 subscribers. It got more than 95 million views. I was travel vlogging around Mexico and doing comedy during the pandemic, which people needed to laugh, wanted to laugh. And then from there, the audience that I built, approximately 200,000 followers across social media platforms, I sold coffee. So I actually started a coffee company online, and we did $12,000 in sales our first month through Instagram. Then I got into the fitness space where I was making fitness content, rented a gym in San Diego, created a fitness app, and we did 127 subscribers in the first week internationally. And so through me just having fun in my own projects and things that I was interested in, being successful in those things because I was having fun, which I think a lot of people forget to do now. They're just starting businesses based on how much money they can make. I actually was doing it for fun. I had no idea that I could even make money doing it. And ended up making 6 figures in my first 18 months. And then people started asking me, Amanda, how are you doing this? Will you coach me, please? Will you consult me, please? And so it was asked of me. I never set out to be a coach. I was just having fun, was successful in my own right, and then people asked me for coaching. So I think it's important looking for a coach, looking for have they actually gotten results themselves? What have they accomplished? And then can we identify with them? Can we relate to them? I think it's really important to have a connection with a coach. Especially a good coach, you're gonna be talking a lot, you're gonna be, connecting probably, hopefully on a daily basis. And so feeling comfortable enough to open up about things and have some relatability, I think is important too. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Like I said before, we could talk to Amanda for hours.
It's only
because
10 minutes.
I know we haven't even talked about traveling yet.
We haven't talked about social media. She just started. I'm like, wait, we haven't even covered that part yet.
Social media. She's traveled the world. She's lived in different countries. Oh my God,
I feel like there are so many things to talk about.
So ladies and gentlemen, as you watch this, please comment. Let us know if you
need to do a second part.
A part 2 or part 3 with Amanda, because we haven't even touched on her traveling and living in other places. All right, where you going next?
Bali.
Wow, of course, that's perfect.
Wow. That's during summer, this is the best place to be right now.
That's perfect. So as we wrap up part 1, I'm hoping with Amanda with more to come. My closing statement for you, if there's something you could change in the world, something that either you're already currently doing or you want to do more of, I would love for you to share with the audience right now, what is one thing that you really would love for people to do more of or change in the world, just from your world and what matters to you?
Yeah, I think building something that you truly love, it's like a passion project, it's something that really lights you up, not for money. One thing that I learned a few years ago, I made more money than I ever made, and I cried, not out of joy, not out of happiness, but out of sadness, because I realized that the money was not going to make me happy. And so there was an emptiness inside of me that was like, I now know that money is not going to make me happy. What is it? It's waking up with a purpose. It's adding value to the world. It is relationships, having meaningful relationships with people. Those are the things that are really going to make you happy. So, not starting a business or not getting into entrepreneurship because you think you can make a lot of money, but how can you accomplish those things? Adding value to the world, having a sense of purpose, and how can you create community and relationships with people that have a lot of depth? That is what's going to make people happy. So that's my...
Thank you. I lied. That was not the last question. One last question is to prepare people in case they want a part 2 of this conversation. What is your favorite place that you've been to outside of the U.S. and then what is your favorite place you've been to in the U.S.?
This is a tough question. I've been to 34, 35 countries now. And I think that it's the people that really make the experience and really make the trip. And so I would say some of the best people that I've met traveling were in Colombia. Okay. So Colombia.
You lived there for a little bit, I remember.
I lived in Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah. But the Colombian people are very, very kind. They're very fun. Medellin, Cali, lots of salsa dancing, things like that. Okay. Love Colombia.
And she loves to dance too.
Love to
That's
dance.
another
Yeah.
part 2. We're preparing you guys for part 2.
And then I would say in the country, that was
the
the second.
US, yeah,
In the U.S. Well, I lived in New York back in 2016, and at that time, I don't know how New York has changed now, but back then, New York was a lot of fun, especially watching FIFA, which is on now. FIFA was on at that time in New York City, which is a lot of fun to watch in New York. But just the melting pot of New York City,
That makes sense.
of having so many different cultures from around the world, and people are very ambitious, and they're go-getters, and they're out there, and they're moving. They're alive. It's a city that everyone is very alive. So. I like that.
Have you been to Africa?
Not yes, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Where?
Morocco.
Morocco. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not West
Interesting.
Africa yet.
Yeah. Never. That's what I was
Yeah,
getting
she's
to.
lucky, Alicia, because I know you're going to give her a hard time.
You have to. You have to go to, because if you love traveling, from what I'm hearing, if you love the Colombian people, if you go to West Africa, you will see that it's a different vibe. People are welcoming.
Yeah.
For example, I come from Côte d'Ivoire. Whenever you want, you're invited. You're invited.
Yeah.
You're invited. And it's amazing because, like, my country, Côte d'Ivoire, is called the country of hospitality.
Yeah.
And it's like when you come there, you feel home. Even you've never been, people will show you so much love, show much appreciation, and it's a city of, like, people love to party, to laugh, to just enjoy.
Yeah.
So it's
a lot
amazing.
Of good food, too.
Food is amazing.
Yeah.
So I think you will love it. If you love Colombia, I think you will love West Africa.
Yeah.
You will love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We thank our wonderful guest, Amanda, for joining us today. It's challenging sometimes to keep certain conversations short, and this is one of them. But we're very grateful for the time together. Please comment below. Let us know what was some of your favorite part of this conversation. So until next time, this was Wealth with Truth podcast, and we look forward to our next conversation. Thank you.